Hamilton County, Tennessee, Sessions Court, where they do not understand jurisdiction at all.
I'm here on that matter.
Yeah, I'm at the courthouse this morning when I need her outside.
Ma'am, we're not allowed in yet.
She's my witness. She's coming
Okay,
with
call the
me.
witness in later.
Well, then she can come in when...
No, sir.
I'll come in when she can come in. Then
Okay,
if you're not
so-
ready for me, then you're not ready for
Ma'am,
me.
let me tell you what's gonna happen. We're not having a disorder today. Because you disrupted
I'll
our
come with
courtroom. You can't come in. Have a seat, you go in.
I'm not going in without my witness. She's here to witness the fraud in this court. If I can't bring in my witness, I'm not
You
coming
don't
in the
bring in
court.
the witness until she calls.
Well, okay, then she's not ready for me. When she calls for me, I'll go in then. Like I said, I ain't. I'm in there and try to fucking railroad me around. She ain't ready for me. There ain't no reason I can't sit out here just like I'm sitting fucking there. Come on. Oh, excuse me.
You walk up to the stand, you have a seat in the back.
She walks up with me.
No,
She's
you're
my
not.
witness. Yes,
No,
she is.
no, you're not.
Yes, she
No,
is.
you're not. No, you're not. Go
Can't
that
deny me
way.
my damn
Go that way.
Don't be pushing on me.
Go this way.
Why are you assaulting me? Get your hands off of me.
Sir, get up, move out the
I
way.
did not consent with this bullshit anyhow. Don't be pushing me around.
That's my camera.
Yeah, that's my witness.
You need to approach the bench,
Yeah.
sir. Come on.
State's asking for the rule, and then she has to step out, okay, until she's called. Okay, ma'am, if you'll stand right there. Can you tell her not to touch? No, don't. Then just don't walk into her arm, okay? Okay, hold everything. I need everybody to stay right where they are for 1 minute. Can you put us on the record? Okay. For the record, this is State of Tennessee versus Gregory Justin Parker, case number 1834881, where he's charged with the offense of evading arrest, 8-2, reckless endangerment, 8-3, resisting, 8-4, driving on a revoked, 8-6, speeding, 8-7, reckless driving, 8-8, registration, 8-9, texting while driving, 9-0, failure to use due care, 9-1, driving without a license, 9-2, driving without insurance, 9-3, registration violation, and 9-5, retaliation. All witnesses that are going to testify, you said you're going to testify, ma'am.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Okay, are you going to testify? If you're not, you're going to leave the courtroom.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Sir, you're not being talked to.
We are not having any witnesses of proceedings now due to COVID regulations.
What's all these other people in here?
Victims or witnesses in the courtroom. And so if you're going to testify, raise your right hand. If not, okay, then you need to step outside. Sir, if you'll step forward. right
Before I cross this bar, I waive no rights and I retain all my rights.
Okay, step forward. Step forward. Okay, now, sir, before we start this hearing, I need you to tell me whether or not you have an attorney to represent you. Do you
I
have
don't have
an
an
attorney?
attorney. I have no
Okay.
need for one.
Now, do you wish me to appoint you an attorney
No.
for this preliminary hearing? If you don't wish to have an attorney, I need you to waive your
I'm
right
not waiving
to have
any
an
rights.
attorney. Okay, well, you either will have an attorney or you will waive your right to
I
an
will not
attorney.
accept an attorney and I will not waive any rights either.
Okay.
Have
then
the
I'm
right to
going
be here. That's my
appoint
self-suit
an attorney
jurors.
to represent you today.
I do not accept representation. I do not need representation.
Do not talk.
I am
while I'm
competent.
talking.
Quiet, sir.
Okay? I'm going to appoint the public defender. He does not want anybody to represent him, but since he refuses to waive his right to an attorney, I am appointing an attorney only as an armchair counsel for this
I do not
hearing.
accept this.
Do
Do
you
not
wish to
consent to
talk
it.
to your attorney that I've appointed for
No.
you?
I do not accept him to speak a word on my behalf either.
Okay. I'm just going to have one of the public defenders
Will be available, Judge.
that be available to
So we're
him.
just gonna hear your case.
No,
Any
I
questions?
don't
Okay.
have no use for you.
Okay. He has no use for the public defender, but since any
I am
reviewing
competent.
court that looks at this will understand, I am appointing him a public defender as an
Against my
armchair
will
since
and
he
against my
refuses
consent.
To waive his right. Now, sir, if you at some point decide to testify in this hearing, I assume you would like a jury trial, is that correct?
Yes, it's the only trial I do accept is a jury trial. I do
Okay.
not accept
And
these
so
sham
in order
proceedings.
to get this case to criminal court, you first have the right to have a preliminary hearing, and so that's what you're about to have is your preliminary hearing. So all witnesses that are going to testify, if you will, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Parker, the way this will proceed, General Denny will ask Trooper Herring any questions. After he asks him questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you so desire. You may ask.
If you would state your full name for the record. And are you employed with the Tennessee Highway Patrol?
Yes, I am.
What duties are you assigned within the Highway Patrol?
Traffic patrol,
Okay, and what area of the state are you currently assigned within?
Hamilton County.
Now, I'm going to direct your attention back to, I think, the events of March the 29th of this year. In the vicinity of Highway 27, somewhere around 6 p.m. Did you encounter a red Chevy truck on the
I will.
roadway?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Could you just explain the circumstances of your original encounter with this red Chevy truck?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir. I was traveling north on 27 and saw the red truck coming south on 27 at a high rate of speed. And I confirmed the speed with my radar to be 91 and 65. So I turned around, caught up to the vehicle, which is now traveling in a construction zone at 81 miles per hour and 45. It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883, 27 South Des Moines. Not yet. I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over. Our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street. We're off, headed toward, we got off Broad exit, headed south. 221, we're approaching Broad, 18 miles an hour at the stoplight. I activated my emergency equipment to make a traffic stop. The vehicle changed lanes, signaling, and it slowed down to a respectable speed. It was still over the 45 speed limit in the construction zone, but it was much more respectable. My dispatch, I ran the tag. The tag was a Texas tag displayed on a red pickup, and the tag came back to a Nissan out of Texas. So the tag displayed on the truck did not match the truck. My dispatch asked me to notify them when the vehicle had stopped. The vehicle continued to travel south on 27. My dispatch asked me if I was in pursuit. At the time, I stated to them, no, I believe that he was going to stop, but the vehicle continued past several exits and shoulders, including a grass shoulder. Then I notified my dispatch that I was in pursuit of the vehicle. The vehicle continued on 27, getting on the 24, and then exited off 24, continuing to pass by parking lots, shoulders, stopping at a stop sign, making a right turn on the 25th. Eventually the vehicle stopped at a stoplight. That's when I exited my patrol car, and I felt like this was the opportunity to end the pursuit before anything else happened. So I exited my patrol car, went up to the vehicle. As I was going to the vehicle, I was giving commands for him to stop and exit the vehicle. He was refusing all commands. I took out my baton, broke the window, and had to remove him by force. Hey, get out! Get out of the vehicle! Get out now! Get out of the vehicle now! Get out of the vehicle now!
Emergency, brother.
Get out of the vehicle now!
Emergency, what?
Including unlocking the door, removing his seatbelt, bringing him out of the vehicle.
Got a Tennessee Highway Patrol behind me. He gonna run up with us down.
Get out now!
What's the emergency?
Get out of the vehicle now!
What's the emergency?
Get out of the vehicle
What's the
now!
emergency, brother? Put it in park.
Get out of the vehicle
What's
now!
the emergency? Why are you jerking on me? What's the problem?
Do you have any weapons on you?
What's the
Put
problem,
that cell
bro?
phone down.
What's the emergency, brother?
Once he was out of the vehicle, he refused to get on the ground, so he was put on the ground by force and taken into custody.
You jerking on me? What's the problem?
Do you have any weapons on you?
What's the problem?
Put that cell phone down.
What's the emergency, brother?
Open the door. Open the door.
What is the emergency?
Get out.
I'm trying to. You're jerking on my arm. I can't come through
Take
the
the
fucking
seatbelt
door,
out.
brother. I got my arm. I can't.
All right. Get out. Get out. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
Why are you fucking doing this to me,
Get
man?
on the ground.
Why are you doing this?
Put your hands behind your back.
What's the emergency? What crime have I committed?
You didn't stop.
Okay, what distance would you estimate you traveled after you engaged your emergency equipment before coming to a complete stop at the red light? What distance was that?
It was approximately a mile, I would say.
So
Maybe,
he traveled more than a mile or a mile
Yes.
after you engaged your emergency equipment?
Oh, no. After I engaged my emergency equipment, it was probably somewhere between 2 and 3 miles.
2 to 3 miles. What were the speeds during the pursuit?
I believe I can tell you what the top speed was.
If you would, just refer to your notes to refresh your recollection.
Yes, sir. red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883. Is as high as 63 miles per hour. 221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
Okay, during the pursuit itself?
Yes, sir.
Now, you originally stated, I think, in your testimony that he was doing 91 and a 65 according to your radar.
Your speed was 90 and a 65 and you did not stop. You had plenty of places to stop. Yes, sir.
What speed was he traveling in the construction zone?
81.
Okay, and what's the speed limit in a construction zone?
That particular construction zone was 45.
81 and a 45 in the construction zone? Now, once you were able to bring him into your custody, as you've described, were you able to investigate further what was going on?
Yes.
What did you find out?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand when I was at the window. And later on, he had stated to me that he started live streaming on Facebook when I was behind him. I also found that he was revoked. His revoked status was revoked for DUI. There was no insurance on the vehicle. The registration was expired, but the plate that he had on the vehicle did not match the vehicle itself.
Did you have a photocopy here in court with you of a plate that he may have had affixed to the vehicle that was of suspect or dubious nature?
Well, he had one that was displayed in the window. But
Right, if I could see it.
yes, sir.
So this plate was displayed in a window of the Chevy truck?
Yes.
Which window?
There was only one on the back, just
Okay.
a full back window.
Okay. I'm going to show this to the defendant so that he can view it. I'm going to ask the court to admit this as Exhibit 1 to the state's testimony and move its introduction into evidence.
Okay, sir, is there any objection to that?
No.
Okay. Then
Nice
I'll
little
make
notice,
it-
isn't it?
I'm sorry, sir?
It's a nice notice, isn't it?
Okay. I'll make that exhibit
Exhibit.
1.
All right. So when you found out that there was no proper registration to the vehicle and that he had this device, did you charge him with some sort of registration misuse violation?
Yes, I did.
What was the basis of that?
Because the tag that was displayed on the vehicle did not match the one that was on the truck. So he was misusing the registration using one that was not for the vehicle itself. The
Now-
one out of Texas came back to, I believe, a 2008 gray Nissan.
Now, you charged evading arrest because of the 2 to 3 mile chase, correct?
Yes, because he refused to stop.
And you also charged him with reckless endangerment. Is that based upon the overall driving that occurred during the periods that you followed him?
All of it, putting when he refuses to stop and the pursuit continues, it puts my life at risk, his life, everyone else on the roadway, including pedestrians that could be in the crosswalk or on the sidewalk. It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883.
And then,
This was also at a time when, kids may have been walking home from school.
On Highway 27.
And so let me just ask you, you charged resisting. I know you've already testified that he physically resisted your attempts there at the stoplight. Could you describe whether he used physical force to resist you?
Just passive resistance.
Okay. So he just would not cooperate with anything. I think you had to extract him from the driver's seat.
Yes, I did.
Did you have to disconnect a seat belt or something to that effect to get him out?
Well, the seatbelt did have to be removed from him. The door had to be unlocked.
Okay.
I had to open it myself.
And you had to break open the window to even get to him?
Yes.
He gonna run up with us down.
Get out now!
What's the emergency?
Get out of the vehicle now!
What's the emergency?
Get out of the vehicle
What's the
now!
emergency, brother? Put in park.
Get out of the vehicle
What's the
now!
emergency? Why you jerking on me? What's the problem?
You have any weapons on you?
What's the
Put
problem,
that cell
bro?
phone down.
What's the emergency, brother? You jerking on me? What's the problem?
You have any weapons on you?
What's the problem?
Put that cell phone down.
What's the emergency, brother?
Open the door. Open the door.
What is the emergency?
Get out.
I'm trying to. You're jerking on my arm. I can't come through
Take
the
the
fucking
seatbelt
door,
out.
brother. I got my arm. I can't.
All right. Get out. Get out. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
Why are you fucking doing this to me,
Get
man?
on the ground.
Why are you doing this?
Put your hands behind your back.
What's the emergency? What crime have I committed?
You didn't stop.
Now, this may be part of the reckless endangerment and the speeding, but you charged in addition reckless driving itself. Is that more or less based on the speed of 91 and a 65, or is there more to it than that?
Yes, sir. The construction zone, and the pursuit, everything, all the above. It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top. Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883.
Did he have a license, driver's license with him?
No, he did not.
Were you able to find anything about his driver's license other than it appeared to have been revoked for a prior DUI?
No, just through dispatch. When his information was run through dispatch.
One of the things that you charged him here was failure to exercise due care. What's the basis of that charge?
Basically, it's just a lesser form of the reckless driving, based on the fact that he's failure to exercise due care to all of the motorists, myself, himself, and any other people or pedestrians on the roadway. Not yet. I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over. .221. Our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
Okay, and I think another offense you charged was texting while driving. I know you said he was live streaming, or he told you he was live streaming during the pursuit. Was he also texting?
It was the same TCA code as the hands-free law, so I charged him with hands-free and wrote hands-free underneath of it.
Okay, so the actual live stream could have, the way he was positioned was not done in a fashion that his hands were free?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Now, the retaliation charge, is that based on something that happened post-arrest?
Yes. In the back of the patrol car, he had stated to me that if I continued my actions, if I continued to do my job and proceed with the arrest, that he would take action against me.
Okay. And did he say what form that action would be?
I'd have to go back and look at the video to be
USC 42,
very
1983.
Yes. I'm gonna count this one more time. Okay. Is that what you got? 604. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 100. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 200. 300, 400, 500. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 580. 1, 2, 3, 4. 584.
And like the last time, Chattanooga, anybody did mess with me. They impounded my truck, took it to the lot and said it was state of Tennessee. So they ended up giving me back my truck, didn't charge me nothing. Said I had to come get it from their property. They couldn't do nothing with it.
Okay.
And what I'm letting you know, brother, is if we continue with this, you're giving me grounds where I can come after you. You don't have immunity anymore when you're acting outside of your oath.
Okay.
And a lot of you guys don't, and I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I didn't do it with the last guys because, you know, I am one, I believe in forgiveness. But I can't allow this stuff to keep happening to me because it does bring a lot of hardship on me. And I will have to start, you know, getting made right again because this is causing harm against me and my family.
Okay.
You know, and like, I could forgive this. But if we go through all the steps, I will have to, you know, you don't have the qualified immunity once you're acting outside the scope of your authority, brother.
Okay.
I promise you, I'm not just trying to talk my way out of this or nothing. I'm literally giving you a warning right now that, I mean, you are violating my rights right now. Without there being a victim, you can't just take me to jail without a warrant. There's 2 stipulations in Title 55, you can pull it up yourself, that gives you the right to arrest me without a warrant. And that one, and both of them require me actually harming someone. That's being a DUI and getting an accident, or getting an accident and leaving the scene of a crime. In both situations, there's a victim in that.
Okay.
Did he quote Uniform Commercial Code or some sort of United States Code law to you at
He
the very
was.
time?
Yes, he was.
Okay, so today we are at the United States Department of Justice website, which is located, and this particular page is located at this URL right here, if you'd like to check it out for yourself, which I suggest is a good idea, because it's, say right here, Section 242 of Title 18 makes it a crime for a person acting under color of law. Now that's, you know, your police, your sheriff, your sheriff's deputies, your highway patrol or state troopers. Most of the judges, prosecutors, and everybody else involved with charging you with crimes on behalf of the municipal corporation. That's most of those guys there, acting under color of law, suggesting that there is a law that you have violated, when there really isn't any. And an example of that is when police arrest you, throw you in a cage, and perhaps even rough you up because they have decided and made the determination all on their own that you are what they call a sovereign citizen.
You gonna run up with us now?
Get out now!
What's the emergency?
Get out of the vehicle now!
What's the emergency?
Get out of the vehicle
What's the
now!
emergency, brother? Put it in park.
Get out of the vehicle
What's the
now!
emergency? Why are you jerking on me? What's the
Do you have
problem?
any weapons on you?
What's the
Put
problem,
that cell
bro?
phone down. What's the emergency, brother?
221, also, he's a sovereign.
As if there's some kind of law that prohibits you from determining who you are. Okay? Which there is not. And it says right there, acts under color of law include acts not only done by federal, state, or local officials within their lawful authority, but also acts done beyond the bounds of that official's lawful authority, which most, and a very great many of those acts, are done outside the bounds of their lawful authority, and that is the whole point, the boundaries of their lawful authority, which you can also state as jurisdiction / authority with regard to you. Okay? And they also need to either answer you when you ask or demand to have an answer of what is their jurisdiction / authority with regard to you, or they acquiesce by not answering, and they by default it is true, and that they don't have any jurisdiction authority for their actions. And of course, the law also states that silence in response to your demand for evidence is or equates with fraud, which is another thing that many of these people are actively doing. Whoever, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities. Can you imagine that? Some of these people want to deprive you of your immunities. Well, don't really need to carry on about that. Secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, and anybody that wants to look for it can find where their immunities are secured and or protected by the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. And of course, we're looking at a year to 2 years and maybe up to 10 years in stir for these people doing this kind of stuff, which they basically do every day of the week. But I say it's high time that it stopped, and you can put a stop to it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
All right, now, did you have any other officers with you by the time you encountered him there at the place he stopped at the red light?
No, not until after he was in custody.
Okay. So you were by yourself through the entire affair?
Yes, I was.
And all this did happen in Hamilton County?
Yes, it did.
Did the defendant ever offer to you any explanation why he did not respond to your emergency equipment?
He said he was going to stop, and he said that he was going to pull into the gas station. And I said, but you didn't, because he passed by the gas station entrance. So I do not believe he had any intention to stop.
That's all I have at this time. I turn the witness over.
Okay, Mr. Parker, you may ask this trooper any questions you wish to ask of him at this time.
Yeah, when did you come to the determination I was driving?
when I got behind you and you're behind the wheel of the vehicle.
What evidences do you have to make you come to that determination that I was driving?
Asked and answered.
I think that's been answered, sir. You can ask your next question.
What evidences did he have that I was driving, other than being on the road, because there's other uses of the road besides just driving?
You may ask your next question, sir.
Do you know the difference between a right and a privilege?
Yes, I do.
Can you elaborate a little bit what a difference in a right and a privilege would be?
Well, for one, nobody has the right to drive. It's a privilege, and that privilege can be taken away from you at any time.
All right. Do you know the difference between driving and traveling and how it's defined and the codes?
I'm going to object to that question because it's irrelevant under the state law.
That's completely irrelevant.
I'll sustain the objection. You may ask your next question, sir.
Can you swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution?
Yes.
And on that day, what did you say you witnessed me doing on Highway 27 as you were passing me?
Excessive speeds.
I just thought you just told him you witnessed me traveling southbound 27 as you was traveling northbound.
Object to the use of the word traveling.
I was traveling north on 27 and it's all. I was traveling north on 27 and it's all. I was traveling north on 27 and it's all.
That's his statement. I'm just reiterating what he just stated. When he was.
I recall his testimony, he said driving.
Yeah.
You may ask your next question, sir.
Who was the victim in this situation?
I'm going to object to the relevance of that. They tell the victim right to the society.
How can the state be a victim? Can the state testify? Can I bear witness of the state?
I would ask that you direct the witness that he ask questions of the witness and not counsel in the opposite.
I'm asking the court, where is the state? Can I not ask? Who made the claim?
Sir,
Who's the injured party that made the claim?
Listen to me. I need you to ask the trooper a question.
That's what
So
I'm
move
trying
on
to
to
do.
the next question. It's a question directed at him. Now,
Who is the injured party that made the claim?
Objection, Your Honor. We've already stated our
sustained,
objection.
that is not relevant. You may ask your next question, sir.
I ain't playing y'all's game no more. Go ahead, do what you're doing.
Okay, so you don't have any more questions?
No, that's fine. Just remember, I do have all the dash cam and body cam video, so everything you've said, you just perjured yourself.
I do have a question between, the case number 1834891 is driving without a license.
Right.
And 1834884 is driving on a revoked driver's license.
I think it's covered under the driving on revoked.
Okay.
It's a greater charge. The other one would be a lesser.
Okay.
It appears to be charge stacking on
I'm going to
that.
dismiss the driving without a license.
Can we confirm Mr. Parker does not wish me to engage in your cross-examination?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he said he is through with our games. I think it's to quote.
Yeah, I don't participate in fraud.
Okay, so this is August 24th, and I'm going to dismiss after the preliminary hearing this one charge of driving on a revoked driver's license.
I'd like to enter some documents in the record as well.
Okay, now. Sir, I'm going to let the DA, so obviously you haven't had an opportunity to put on any proof, but you said you were through with us. And so do you wish to put on any proof in this preliminary hearing?
Proof of what?
Anything? Do you wish to testify?
Yeah, I've not put any out. I've challenged the jurisdiction from, and the yes, I get that. But in order to proceed with anything, this court has got to establish jurisdiction. Actually, the prosecution has to establish jurisdiction, and no one has. Neil Pinkston has it, none of his attorney general, assistant attorney generals, this gentleman's employers, these gentlemen, nobody. So we're standing here without anyone claiming any jurisdiction. It's a violation of due process.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask this witness, or do you wish to testify? Those are the only things that.
What jurisdiction do you have over me?
Sir.
That's a question directed towards him. Is that what you asked?
Not relevant. We're through.
Oh, now it's not relevant. jurisdiction.
questions. Do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will say this court has acquiesced on the fact there is no jurisdiction. That is a statement. She asked me if I had a statement, I just made a statement.
You do not wish to testify and have any witnesses. So I find that there's probable cause to believe that all these crimes were committed, and they were committed by this defendant here in this county. And I will bind these cases over to the grand jury. Sir, stay in touch with your bondsman. They'll notify you if you are indicted, which courtroom to appear in criminal court. You are free.
Make sure they do too.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am?
Your Honor, those were not introduced into evidence, and
I was trying to, he wouldn't let me give them to you, they let me give them to you.
I cannot let
All right, I'll
you
just
believe
You said you're done.
All right, that's fine. I retain all my rights and don't waive any before I cross this bar.
Right now, you're gonna let me talk, okay? Your case was set on the 130 docket because that's a settlement docket, and I take it that you don't want to settle your case. Is that correct?
No, there is no case. It's void ab
Well, sir,
initio.
answer my questions. It's yes or no. You don't want to settle your case, correct?
No, it's void.
Okay. Well, it's not void.
I'm not sure who the gentleman is. I asked for Mr. Parker in the hallway, and he would not identify himself.
Okay. Sir, whether you identify as Mr. Parker or not, that's the name that you were charged under. Is that correct?
That's the name y'all wrote down.
Okay. And you were present when that name was written down, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so he's the individual that this officer arrested.
No, I'm not that.
You will not talk
I'm not
when I
that.
talk. Now, the next step is, I guess this needs to be set for a preliminary hearing, is that correct?
Yes,
and so let's pick a date. You don't want that this afternoon, I trust.
I think I could probably do it pretty quick, just to be honest with you. I'm happy to reset.
So the gentleman that has been charged is Mr. Parker. This is an afternoon docket. The afternoon dockets in this courthouse are settlement only. My understanding is you wish to have a preliminary hearing. Actually, you wish to say this is void. And
it is void, and I've challenged the jurisdiction of this court, the DA's office, his office, sheriff's office. Nobody's claimed any jurisdiction or authority over me.
Stop talking when I'm talking. That's what you do in a hearing. And so, if you want, are you going to have a lawyer to represent you?
No.
Okay. So we can do your hearing today, right now, or we can do your preliminary hearing on a morning docket where we're supposed to have them done. So do you choose this afternoon or another morning?
I choose this stuff to be dismissed because it's void, okay. But if I have any, I need more time so I can put more paperwork, because I got claims against this gentleman over here for the crimes he committed against me.
I'm not going to give you more time for claims because that's in a civil court. I'm a criminal court.
Yeah,
but I will
criminal claims, not civil claims.
Okay, so listen to me at this moment, okay? The next time you come into my courtroom, it will be for a preliminary hearing. You should be ready for that hearing with a lawyer or ready to represent yourself, okay? Those will be your only two choices. You will have a preliminary hearing. You will either represent yourself or have a lawyer. Those are the questions I'm going to ask you at that date, okay? Now, let's pick a date that everybody is available for this hearing. For hearing. This is Trooper Herring, who's going to tell us if this is a good day. 1513 is what you're looking at. And it will be an 8:30 day.
Is anybody making any claim of any authority or jurisdiction? It's been over 3 months, and I had not run a response to any of that. I think y'all have a duty to answer those.
Sir, we do not have a duty to do anything until we are in a hearing, and we're not in a hearing now. You can, I know you filed the motion. I will hear the motion.
I didn't file no motions.
Will you
it's
file
a demand.
Something?
It's a demand.
A demand for jurisdiction.
And nobody's claimed any.
It's a motion. I will treat it as a motion.
No, it's not a motion. It's a demand. It's a difference.
That will work for you, August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3. And sir, that will be your hearing date, okay? I will see you on that day prepared for your hearing. Thank you, you may exit my courtroom.
All right. You can't challenge jurisdiction until we have a hearing. What the fuck we sitting here doing? Told them, oh, you need more time? No, I don't need more time. It's dismissed. It's void. It's been void. Oh, you claim it's void?